Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since my last video, and this is probably going to be my last video until, well, May. So, I'll log into my YouTube account, going to do some stuff. I have a notice that says CCP, makers of EVE Online, have complained about a video you posted, well, like 3 years ago. Oh, that's annoying. That I didn't even remember posting. In fact, the website that it was tied to had been non-existent for well over 2 years. Basically, like 4 years ago, I made a bot. Really, it was just a macro, but it used methods of controlling the game that didn't consume your mouse and keyboard. So it was bot-ish for EVE Online. It's a game made by CCP. And apparently, they didn't like that. The message that sends to me is they don't like people to stream their game. I mean, really, it had like less than 5 minutes of their game in it. And it was just to demonstrate how to set up the macro, really. But after about a year of it being done, I was like, yeah, we'll make a website and we'll throw it up. And if people want it, they can have it. Here's a video on how to use it. And not a problem for like 3 years. Just about 3 years. Well, nobody really ever, anyways, nobody ever really saw the website, because by the time my YouTube channel was popular enough to actually get views, the website was gone. And a lot of people asked me about it and all that, and I said, no, I'm not going to put it back up. I've lost half of it, and I don't care to remake it. And so what happened with this is I got a copyright strike. Yeah, from a video that was 3 years old with like less than 2,000 views or some crap like that. It might have had 7,000 views. Not even. Nowhere near 7,000. Literally like 2,000 or less. So yeah, it was removed. No problem. I don't care. They could have emailed or messaged me or anything, emailed me and said, hey, can you take this down? Yeah, I didn't even know it was there. I'd have taken it down when I killed the website because it doesn't exist, but I forgot it was there. So yeah, that copyright strike means now that my videos are back to the, 10 or 15 minute time limit or whatever they are. I can't do live events. I can't have paid subscriptions. I can't have external annotations. Basically, I'm very limited, and that's for 6 months. And yeah, I could send a counter notification to them, but that's actually a legal document that says that, hey, you filed basically a suit against YouTube on my behalf, and I say no. Well, I'm not going to fight CCP because realistically, even under like fair use, it doesn't qualify if it can be considered damaging. And so I'd lose anyways, and it would cost way too much money for something that's meaningless to me. I don't care. But the bigger message, of course, is that they went out of their way to get rid of this video that was not popular, whose link in the description to the website led nowhere, for a program that no longer existed, and nobody ever really downloaded it. I think there was one download, and I think it was one of my friends I told about it, and I don't think he ever even used it. I pretty much stopped playing EVE well before I even put the video up, which was the main reason I did, whatever. And I didn't hardly even use the bot because it was terrible. It would always get stuck. It didn't do any smart things. It didn't do any calculations or anything like that. And so really there was no damage to their economy. There's no damage to their program. There was no damage to their name. If anything, it got people who didn't play the game to say, yeah, I'll try to play this game. There's bots out. Why not? And it probably actually helped them, if it did anything at all. But yeah, so definitely not ever going to stream any Eve. I was actually just talking with my friend like 2 or 3 weeks before this about playing Eve again because we kind of miss it. But I don't think I will now. And if I do, I'm definitely not going to stream or record or anything of the game footage. So that promotion's gone. Because clearly they don't want video footage of their game out there at all. That's the message I got. Because why not just send a message to me directly? If you have a problem, in my world, if you have a problem with someone, you address it. You say, hey, dude, you offended me. And that person does something to fix it. Now, instead of all that, or they could have even just messaged YouTube and said, hey, but instead they filed a legal suit, a claim. It's an actual legal document against YouTube on my behalf. And YouTube's hands are tied. If I were to dispute it, the video would go up immediately. And then the only way for them to get it taken down is to take us to court. And I really don't care to spend the time or the effort for that. But what this might motivate me to do is write another bot for Eve, a good one. Nah, that would be retaliatory. Instead, I say good luck with your game. It was fun while it lasted, and who knows, but yeah, so if I do post videos, they're going to be, what, 10 minutes? Or I think the limit's 15 minutes now. But that kind of puts a damper on my my whole routine, because my videos are usually half hour, 45 minutes, hour. It's a lot of explaining. Which leads me to what I have open here. Very simple to explain. Basically in Windows, if a program is taking up too much memory, like it's asking for more and more memory, excuse me, Windows will pull and free memory from everywhere that it can to allocate it for that program. And so what this handy little tool does, which this is really not needed these days, most machines have more RAM that they could ever actually utilize in one sitting. Well, it's possible, but the average user, probably not. But what this handy tool does is you run it, and it eats up as much memory as humanly possible. That's not it. And thusly, and then at the end of it, when it gets to the limit of all memory taken, it just frees it. And so I'll demonstrate what it does really quick for you if I can find it. I don't think I've written any snippets since I wrote this, so yeah, there we go. So if we go ahead and open the resource monitor, we'll see that we have a lot in use actually. So we'll run this and it'll give us a readout that we're currently using 71%, and the video might lag, I don't know. I don't think it actually will, but it might. It shows physical memory installed, free. I actually don't have much RAM in this. This is my crappy server computer. My main computer has been out of commission for a little while. Got it back up and running, and I'm so accustomed to sitting right here that I don't use it. I should, but I don't. It shows your page file size and how much of it's free, and then your virtual memory also. And now, as you can see down here, it's eating up everything. It's going to just eat it. And then at the end, it'll just free. And you'll see that chunk, boom. Now we're using 36% of our memory. And we have much more free than we did before. So yeah, I was hitting limitations because I'm trying to use this server instead of my computer over there. And, you know, trying to play games and all that and whatnot. And it's just, yeah. So I wrote this handy little tool. And if the video length is 10 minutes, we are now past it. That was quick. So let's get back to the code. I'm hoping for 15 minutes. Basically, it just says while the available memory divided by our divisor, which is defined up here as this big ass number here, is greater than 512, which is, that number is how much we try to allocate each time, I think. I don't really, oh no, it's not. That's, you know, I don't really remember how I came up with that number. I think it's like a standard page size for my system, or what my system's page size is. It's not really important. And then we're trying to allocate this many bytes, and we're storing each allocation in an array, and then we're going to actually free all of them at once to prevent actually not being able to free them all, because it keeps storing chunks until it can no longer, instead of just reallocating more and more and more and more, because the actual pointer that's returned would be different. So we're just doing this by doing virtual allocations and setting, you actually have to set the memory to allocate, otherwise it won't actually use it. It won't call it in use until it's been modified. And then this giant cryptic string to get that percentage complete. It's just some basic math that this could be represented much better, but I didn't care. I literally threw this together just to work, not really to present, but I thought, what the heck. And then it just empties, so it frees them all of them in worked, because they're stored in that array. And then it empties the working set of the current process, sleeps for a little while, reprints the data about your system. Well, it grabs it here and then prints it. This just stores your memory status in a little memory status structure. And then it just exits when you press a button. And as you can see, we're still using a whole lot less memory than we were. Which I'm gonna try to work on a very interesting program soon, but it's gonna take more than 15 minutes to explain it, and I don't feel like uploading 15 parts. So we might go back to old school days where I rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and do the same video with as much, you know, core content as possible, as fast as I can, just to make it small enough so that I can upload it. Yeah, so that's what happened with that, and good on you, CCP. Thanks for everyone watching, supporting, and you know, if you don't see a whole lot from me for a while, that's why, and I'll get back in May when my 6 months is up.